you heard of Linux?
Here's 3 reasons why you should switch to Linux.
More and more PC builders are now using Linux.
I switched to Linux as a gamer?
Many even switching over from Windows to Linux.
Linux is the best.
5 good reasons. Things that Linux does better than Windows.
Linux, an operating system that comes with a world of limitless customization, powerful tools, and complete control over your computer. It is basically the operating system that powers most of the internet, supercomputers, servers, developer machines, your Samsung fridge, and even your bootleg smartwatch. It is fast, customizable, and open source. We will be focusing more on the customizable part. Today I am going to install Linux for the first time. What could possibly go wrong? So what are we getting ourselves into? So today we will be installing Linux because it has always been my fetish to try Linux on my new laptop. At first I looked into the common way, that is the dual boot setup, but I wasn't ready to brick my laptop, so I didn't go into that. Then I considered running Linux from a persistent USB, which was really cool, but then I discovered that I needed 2 USBs for that, one which I will be used for booting it and another that will be used to store the Linux operating system. The last option was VMware or virtual machine. So what VMware does is it makes a separate secure environment in your PC and you can run any program in that very safely. So today I have made a small checklist about how to install this and we will be going about that. And the first thing that we have to check is for virtualization. As I have been tweaking around with my computer, I already allowed for virtualization. Now the main part, which is to install the VMware. So we will search up and basically we do download now. Here we'll have to make an account. I will be making a new one. So I think I got it now. My username must be my Gmail. What the fuck? I didn't think it will take me this much time to make a fucking account. I'll continue. And voila! It worked. First try. Clap for me. Now we go to my dashboard. And here we have to search VMware. What was I supposed to search? VMware Workstation Pro. Okay. VMware Workstation Pro. That we have searched that. Now, why is there no data found? My downloads. Where can I see my downloads? Oh, this is my downloads. I can't find anything. Wow. Oh, here. VMware. And, I found it. For this, I think I'll have to check what my Windows version is. Although I do know what it is, I'll show you how you can see that. You have to go in your system here, and in system you have to go in about. And here you can see what kind of system version you have. Yeah, I have a 25H2 version, so I'll get that one. And I'll get this one, yeah. And fill out all this data. I'll just fill it out.
A few moments later.
It's so slow that most of the time I get confused whether I did download it or not, or whether I submitted the form. Half of the time I'm getting scared. I'll install that.
5 minutes later.
Right, now we are done. So I'll open that installer. Alright, it's done now. And we'll just open up VMware. I think it's starting. Okay, it started. Now we are done with installing VMware. So now we are moving on to the next part, which is to make a virtual machine. First we need to do one thing, that is install this Linux ISO. let's search for Zorin OS. This is Zorin OS official site. Make sure you're on the official site, and if you go to the downloads here,
5 minutes later.
continue for now with the virtual machine, and if some issues arise, we'll see what we can do. Okay, we have installed the Linux ISO also. We'll go with creating a new virtual machine. So I'll say typical. Next, I'll do uh-oh. Okay, it is an ISO. So I don't need to extract it. Okay, we'll continue with this. I'll browse here. I'll go to downloads. I'll select this. I'll open it. And it does show up as ISO. I did not need to do all that. Next, and it is Linux and Ubuntu. Ubuntu, I think it will be okay if I just select Ubuntu. And I think I'll continue. Where do I want to store this virtual machine? I think I have made a place for that in my D drive and virtual machines. Okay, with that we are good to go. We'll continue here. It is recommended to allot 20 GB and I'll be allotting almost 50 GB for this. I think I'll name it Zorin test. Yeah, that sounds appropriate. 50, I'll go with 50 and this is correct. I'll finish this. With that, we have a new virtual machine. We have saved this and now we'll power on our VM machine. Now is the main test, whether if it worked or not. Removable devices, the following devices, okay. Okay, I think I clicked on something I shouldn't have. I don't think I should cancel it and
1 eternity later.
okay, with that after like 15-20 minutes of wait, Zorin was finally installed and we are going to install Zorin OS of course this time. I'll click on that. I'll select my language as English. Anyways, it should take about some bit. Oh, why is that? You may choose to wait for a while it continue or to continue or force the app to quit entirely.
2 hours later.
I'm able to basically use Zorin as one normally would. So there's Brave already pre-installed on this. I have not set any password. Okay, maybe I'll set this one. Okay, with that the password is set and voila, we can use Brave. Dark mode and we'll try running YouTube. Currently I don't think I've set up Wi-Fi or anything like that, so I'll have to do that probably. Oh wow, this is some new stuff. I think I'll close that. And what is this? Oh, it's like you have two desktops. Can I close one though? I can't. It's like I just have two of them. And in here maybe I have my Wi-Fi settings. Yep, I have got my Wi-Fi here. And I'll select new Wi-Fi. Okay, I can't do like this. How do I add a Wi-Fi? Okay, I am still booted into the live installer environment. This means installation was never completed. Okay, it wasn't completed as we saw, and virtual machine booted back into the most likely the ISO is still attached. Shut down the VM machine. Okay, let's do this now.
3 hours later.
So what was happening was that at first I thought Zorin was fully installed, but what I didn't notice was that on the desktop the Linux installer button was still there, which meant that I still didn't have Linux completely installed. So it turned out VMware was still booting from the ISO itself, so I was basically stuck in the installer again. And after that was resolved, I just restarted the ISO after unmounting the Linux ISO from the virtual machine, and after that there was a network issue where some of the packages weren't installing properly. It turned out it was an issue between TCP and UDP haggling for control. So after some 10 minutes or so, that also resolved by itself, and after that basically everything was working. Okay, so now we will be trying to explore Linux as we are already complete with the installation part. There are some few things that I ChatGPT basically about what you should try, like to get yourself familiar with Zorin after you have installed it already. So first one was to install an app from the software center. Zorin has this software store and you can basically install all the Linux certified programs, like safe programs from here. So you can search games here. What I'm going to try to install is GIMP. GIMP is like the Photoshop for open source. It works specifically well on Linux. We will try to install it from here. I'll try customization first. So if you come to here, then you can basically see in Zorin appearance, you can do a lot of customization. You have this layouts option here. As you can see, you can set it to like Windows 11 layout or Windows 10 or this, basically whatever you like. But I'm currently going with this one. Okay, this is the theme. You can select the accent color. Like you can see here that it's changing color. I'll maybe go with blue. Blue looks nice. Maybe purple. Purple looks pretty nice too. We'll go with dark mode. And in effects, this is the jelly mode which I've already turned on. And what this does is when you're opening your windows and closing them, it basically gives them this effect. You can turn it off if you're like on RAM, but it is nice. And this is desktop cube. Basically when you're changing from here to here, rather than that appearance, it gives this. And then there are adjustments. I can zoom. Okay, I'm not going to do any of this. Other than that, basically fonts do a lot for your operating system. Basically choose a very nice font and it will look nice. I'll let everything else be the same. Okay, with that we are done here. And other things you can do is basically in the software store itself, you can install more fonts and codecs that will make basically everything look better. So first I'll try installing GIMP from here. I'll install GIMP. I think I have already installed, but I'll check if it appears here. Okay, it doesn't. Maybe I'll install it again. Maybe I did not install it the first time. While this is installing, we are going to try to install another thing, that is VS Code. So to install it, we need to run this command: sudo snap install code -- Okay, with that we are installing VS Code. Okay, so both of the things have now been installed, like VS Code 2 and GIMP 2. So first we'll try to see how GIMP is like. So this is GIMP and we can create new images. So I'll create a new image. I'll set this to 1080, then I'll just save this. This is basically a 1080 resolution image and I can basically edit it. How does this look? I've added like something. Is this a okay, this is a brush. Wow. It's like a brush. I can add things here. This is a rectangle. Okay, I can only draw in this section. I don't know why that is. Oh, it's a sun. You can add a sun here. Can I not increase the size of this sun? Okay, there is some tool for that. Okay, we'll explore GIMP later. With that, GIMP is done. And here you can see VS Code is also installed, and we'll see where VS Code is. This here it is. Now that we have opened it. Okay, finally we are in VS Code. I'll just skip it for now. So now we have got VS Code 2. Two of the things that I will use, I have got them. That is to make a script. I need to make a script. A script is basically a file that has a lot of commands in it, and when you run a script, all the commands in it run too. So basically you can make a script to close your computer. That has the commands like kill all processes, save all processes, then close computer, like that. Or you can make a reboot script that basically when you run that script, and if you're dual booting, then maybe it will not turn on Windows, instead it will turn on Linux, or vice versa, as you have chosen. So basically scripts are useful for that. Now we'll try to make a new script. We'll make a new directory. This is basically the command to make a new directory. This is make direct, and I'll be copy pasting everything since I have very bad typing currently. I don't know why. We have made it. We'll just search it up. Yeah, we have made scripts in home at that. I think everything is coming into here. So the next thing we are going to do is open the scripts. Nano is basically the command to open a script file, and we are going to do hello.sh. The script is basically to say hello from Linux. Let's make this. We are in this. Okay, now, and we will do another thing is we will be pasting this into the file. I can right click also. After that we have to save and exit. Control O, enter, Control X, and that we have closed the file. So now we'll make it an executable, that is a script file. We'll take this, we'll paste it here. Okay, so with that we have made the script, and we are going to open this in VS Code. In this home there is this scripts, and this is the LOSH file. So we'll open this folder in VS Code itself. Open folder and home scripts. We'll select this. Okay, as you can see we have this LOSH here, and it has all the things that we have added previously. We can basically make this file here itself in VS Code too, but since I wanted to learn how to do it, I did like that. But you can just make a new file here in the scripts folder itself and name it hello.sh, then write in that all this stuff, and that will also work. So next part is we are going to run this file, and to do that this is the command to run it. I think I can do it in terminal here too. It worked, like you can see here hello.sh it has said. We can also like run this command like this one in the other terminal in here. I'll paste this here. Yeah, that is correct, and you can see that here also the answer is occurring. So you can make scripts like this, and why I wanted to show scripts first of all is that scripts are very important when you are doing Linux. Like if you're making an executable file, then you need to know how to make scripts. All the things, like maybe even to start an app, like to make a shortcut, like if you're in Arc Linux, to make a shortcut you need to make a script. So scripts are very useful. With that I think we are done with our exploration, like rising and all that wise I don't think I'm going to explore as much. And after all the failed installs, virtual machine issues, driver problems, and way too much googling than I'd like to admit, I did finally get Zorin OS working. So yeah, there's that. And honestly, Linux was a lot less scary than I expected. There's still a lot I don't know, but I can see why people end up falling in love with Zorin or Linux for that. So let's conclude here. We'll meet in another video.
Bye bye.